in their cultures, in their complexions, in their personalities, in their undergraduate majors, in their family histories, in the paths that led them here. The past and present students of the Florida State University College of Medicine are all over the map. Each class is a marvel of diversity, not by accident, but because we carefully construct it that way. We know that diversity creates a richer learning experience, and that Florida needs its future physicians to reflect its own diversity. Yet while we celebrate such variety, it's not always their diversity that impresses people who encounter our students. Rather, it's the qualities they have in common. Not just intelligence, but compassion, maturity, collegiality, respect for others, and an eagerness to serve those who especially need it. We've collected excerpts from interviews with a dozen of our students and alumni, speaking of what makes this school unique, or of their most memorable patients, or of their passion for patient care. They'll help you understand why the FSU College of Medicine is gaining a reputation for producing a rainbow of physicians who really know and love what they're doing, and whose patients truly value them.
You know, I've had friends who seriously have had to consider, I got Harvard in one hand, but Florida State is an amazing school. I actually have a friend of mine who really had a hard time considering that. And it was just the fact that Harvard was able to dish out a couple extra $100,000 that really led him to go that direction.
It's more than just learning the right questions, learning where you want to go when you're having a conversation with the patient, articulating your questions, coming to a familiar understanding with your patient so that they can better understand what's going on with them. It has a lot to do with you too, because you learn a lot about yourself, your strengths, your weaknesses, the things that you are good at and some things that you may not be so good at. It's integrating all the things that you've read about and that you've learned in class and in the books all these years to actual people.
I was on my OBGYN rotation and walking out of the hospital after waiting for a young lady to deliver after about 12 hours, just exhausted. But I saw a young man walking into the hospital, and by the way he was walking, I could tell he dislocated his shoulder. I wanted to be the one to reduce his shoulder. I asked the physicians and they said, yeah, sure, do it. They gave him some medication, and he smiled at me before I reduced his shoulder. And he said, this is the reason why you rushed me back here, isn't it? I was like, yeah, I wanted to reduce your shoulder. And they said, this is how you do it. And I said, Jason, go ahead and do it. And I did it.
It's really nice to know that when you don't have family here, you have faculty that's concerned, that's aware of everything that you're involved in, everything that's going on, knows who you are, knows things about you, and really care about your success and your future goals.
When you go out to your third and fourth year, the hands-on experience is incredible. People will wait until their second and third year of residency, of a surgical residency, say, to get to do the things that we were doing on the first day. Every day I woke up and I would go see my patients. I'd round on my patients. I'd report to my attending, and then I'd go to the OR with my attending and first assist on every case. Then I'd go to the clinic and follow up with the patients that I saw in the OR and in the hospital. It was really a continuous care model.
So I was actually undecided between family medicine and pediatrics until day one of my pediatric ICU rotation that unfortunately involved the death of a child. But I have never been more convicted to go in a direction in my entire life. She was a little girl, came in for a drowning, not a bruise on her, and my attending gave me, at the time, what I felt like an incredible burden. But looking back, the opportunity to be very independent with the family and talking to them and delivering bad news. And it was an experience that I will never forget. To be able to tell a family that, you know, although your little girl's life on earth was short, based on your reaction to this, she clearly had touched your family and your lives so much. And I just felt very much that that was where I needed to be, and that that was what I needed to do for the rest of my life.
I will be doing family medicine. It was actually not a very difficult decision for me to make. I feel that family medicine is, ultimately, it's who I am. I see myself as a family physician. It's not something that I chose. It's really just who I am. I love being around people. I love taking care of children. I love taking care of adults. I love delivering babies. I love it all, and I love being a part of people's lives and of their family. And it just seems to be, it's who I am.
I think we really create a more supportive network and more of camaraderie than we're gonna try to, stab you in the back to get a better grade or whatever. And a lot of my friends are surprised that this is, they think it's some kumbaya, we're all friends, they don't believe that either. But we really are. I really think that the majority of us realize that it's gonna be hard regardless, so why make it harder by, not working together?
At the end of my first year, my mom passed away from lung cancer, and so I was working at Preceptor, and I came in, and this has been a few weeks afterwards, and saw one of the patients there, and she had recently just had her mom deceased too. And it was just one of those moments where, as I saw her kind of finally admitting it, and it was really difficult, and she was breaking down, it was one of those things where, in another class, another school, I may not have thought of doing this, but I just, put down the pen, put down the pad, and we just hugged and cried for a little bit, and we just talked about it and how difficult it was. But at the same time, like afterwards, I mean, we had a very close connection, and it was really important. I think it was a really special experience, and something that if I didn't have that doctoring training, I don't know if I would have felt comfortable doing that.
I grew up in Bogota, Colombia, and we had a lot of difficulty getting access to care, even to just see a general practitioner. We would have to stand in line. People would get there really early, even like 5 in the morning, there would already be a line there. And you can see twists and turns of people standing in line to see the doctor. And there's times when, we would be there the whole day, it would be 5 o'clock, and we would still be standing in line and not be able to get the care. And so that kind of image kind of stuck with me as something that didn't seem right, that something needed to be done about that.
You're going to have good days, you're going to have bad days, but the good days will outnumber the bad days, and at the end of the day, you're going to have, a great experience, and you're going to say, hey, I helped positively impact someone's life today. So,
if you want a school that supports its students, if you want a school that teaches them the most important, top-notch, medical education, that is in their students' corner, that just teaches you how to not only be a physician that diagnoses patients, but how to be a physician that is a person, a physician that can listen to their patients, and a physician that relates with their patients, and a physician that is not only their doctor but their friend, and teaches them how to just take into account a whole person instead of just a diagnosis, then Florida State is the place for you.